If you look at what Western women are in the West, we have a choice, especially in Asia. We personally avoid meeting Western women because they are generally angry with the world. Most Western women in this country are obese men. Stupidity is the same wherever you go. So unlike other BS in the West, maybe it's worth having a cultural difference. We have to engage with contemporary women. In our opinion, the last bastion of true femininity is in Asia and some other parts of the world. You're probably right, although this is also practiced in some parts of Western countries. But for the most part, it's more common in a few Asian and even some Latin American countries. You can find more true femininity here. The risk of cultural difference, or more specifically, bringing it back, shall we say, unusually back in the West, is that many men have this preconceived notion and are unfamiliar with the culture. There's also a Briton in his 40s with a poor record for dealing with women. He's not 3 out of 10, and he believes that if you can travel to Asia, you can bring back a bride from anywhere in the Philippines or Thailand or Latin America, and everything will be fine. They learned that was not the case. The most important thing you need to know about Odd's return to the West is that it's a great TV show. The key idea here is that individuals gradually recover or adapt to their previous perceptions of the new environment. We talk to a lot of people. Every few months, someone shows up getting engaged to an agency or Latino woman who thinks they're going to be different. We have trained a lot of people going through the divorce process. There is a unique unicorn, but once you remove it from its natural habitat, it adopts contemporary toxic feminist behaviors and perspectives. If you want her here because it's poisonous and spreads like cancer, chances are she'll take it. So visit Japan. In many Asian countries, including first world Asian countries such as Japan and South Korea, Japanese is very common. For example, if you visit them and you are not Asian, they will be very paranoid about you. If you are not familiar with their culture or not familiar with their culture, they will usually treat you badly. However, it may not always be completely accurate. You have to take into account that your family cares deeply about you as a man, contributes enough value or effort to influence you, or seriously interferes with your life. These are some of the items we will strictly limit. For example, if you want to participate in verification in Asia, take Japan and Korea for example, and you will find that they try to make your life run like a show, which has a huge impact on your personal life. Big and bold. No, we don't care what she looks like. If you look at her and say, wow, she got a 17 out of 10, it makes no difference. It's not worth the rush. It's not worth putting your assets at risk. When it comes to your wealth and wealth, especially your wealth and money, they are, or more specifically, she is, they are for their extended family. They want to engage with you in any way that might expose them to you. If you're a high-profile person, they have to get into your frame to do that. If you're not a high-level person, if you're one of the lower-level people going to Asia, they'll be in places like Thailand or the Philippines, and they'll cash everything. They may have $1 million, but we don't know they have a decent standard of living there. But you are not a particularly valuable person. At the end of the day, chances are you won't be self-managing a 6- or 7-figure business location. Most likely they don't own a lot of property or earn a lot of passive income. So everything really depends on your value. Of course, if you are an advanced person, you can use flexibility and practice frame management. If you are not, you will have problems. Canada has a sizable population as we recede in the West. He got rich. As a friend of mine once told us, you have to sift through a lot of dirt to find gold. You know, we're talking about women in general because now we feel like we're expressing some dissatisfaction and a little bit of annoyance with the average woman at the time. And the results we get are not particularly good value. You know the old double order, if you were just a nice guy and you had a 6-figure job, like $100,000 a year, it wasn't really enough. So when it comes to Western women, you need to understand or generalize to women in general. It's important to realize that, for the most part, women are women everywhere. Women are naturally sexually motivated. Your mother, sister, and daughter will all be there. Women are like that. Caring ladies are the norm. It's not a criticism to say they have trouble seeing their noses. She didn't observe these. This is the reality of the world, and it explains why peons thrive on Earth. That's okay, because women raise themselves and their children in a very egocentric way. We Western women deserve it. You just need to note that we currently have an incoherent tour with a Western woman who is the perfect partner in our lives. While there are good ladies out there, finding one can be a challenge. As our friends said years ago, you have to dig a lot of dirt to find gold. Let's assume that's how you describe it. If you're a higher quality person who understands the red pill and the nature of women, can set boundaries, and doesn't put yourself at risk by getting married, then we think you're a good person. For example, if you are okay, you can have a wonderful encounter with a woman or a Western woman. Things didn't go according to plan because most of the men we spoke with didn't think about women in line with how real women behaved. Finally, we talk to them or arrange an individual coaching session with them. In order to achieve better results in your own life, you have to let go of that belief and replace it with a new belief that will serve you better. The other is with you, and the other is with the woman. They don't do it to win over the ladies. You are not doing this to attract women. You act on your own behalf. You do this to enrich your life and give yourself more social networking options. They do it when they like toys like cars, boats, and planes. You don't do it to live the life you want. They don't buy big houses or fancy cars to attract women. Instead, buy a fancy car. You want a comfortable ride, and since you like exotic cars, you decide to buy a good German car with rich sound, fast acceleration, and a ton of great accessories inside. Because you like to drive fast and hang out with friends you know who also like to drive fast, you are driving an exotic car. That's not the case. All they do is to elevate women. There are probably a lot of men out there who do it, and that's probably the main reason why they put in so much effort. You have achieved something. But if you don't see life from the perspective of the red pill, you can still fail. If you start making bad decisions about women, you end up losing a lot. If you marry the wrong woman, bring the wrong woman into your home, or invite the wrong woman into your life, you really lose. In the past, men have been known to take long-term actions to deal with short-term challenges in life. They're world-class in launching their tech projects because we're world-class in business, or world-class in growing a big company that generates a lot of passive income or rising interest rates or whatever. Angels invest round after round, but because they treat women badly and don't admit that the sex market isn't what they make them believe, they collapse. Yes, it should be the result of your pursuit of excellence, not your discovery. And whether you have to pursue multiple goals at the same time is entirely up to you. However, things improve when a new person enters your life, and you find them checking almost every box and enriching your life. You can find out by asking around that it doesn't matter where she's from. She could be Asian, she could be Western. It may come from Africa, the Mediterranean, or Europe. It doesn't matter. There are still many wonderful women in the world, but you have rumors that all women will have a common, essentially feminine essence. Women inevitably ask, is this man the best we can be? If you're a respectable man, you'll be fat and lazy 3 to 5 years after your first meeting. You are no longer employed and you know your health is deteriorating. While things like this shouldn't come as a surprise, they don't make good decisions. You know that as long as she thinks you are her best option, she will stay. So if she picks you up and starts walking towards you, pay attention immediately. With that in mind, we sincerely hope this helps. Let's narrow it down here and present some options for what we're going to achieve. So guys, come on. When you do, click the like button. Algorithms appreciate it. See below in the entry.